The first voicemail came at 6:47 a.m. Honey, it's Mom. Call me back. It's about your sister's girls. It's urgent. I was making breakfast for my son when my phone buzzed again. And again. By the time I'd poured his cereal, there were 6 missed calls. My husband glanced at my phone. Your family. Who else? I silenced it and focused on getting our son ready for school. The calls continued through morning drop-off. Text messages flooded in between them. By the time I reached my office, my phone had become a constant buzz of notifications. By noon my voicemail was full, 30 messages in 6 hours. I finally listened to one during my lunch break sitting in my car with the doors locked. Mom's voice was shrill, panicked. Your nieces need help. Sarah lost her job and the girls can't afford their apartment anymore. You have money sitting there for college. $50,000 just sitting in an account. Your son is only 8 years old. He doesn't need it yet. The girls need it now. Family helps family. That's what we do. That's how I raised you. Call me back immediately. The next message was from Sarah herself, her voice thick with tears. Mom told me you had savings. I didn't want to ask, but I'm desperate. Please. We're family. Another was from my oldest niece. And I know we don't talk much, but I'm about to lose everything. My credit is ruined. I can't get another apartment. Please help. I deleted them all and called my sister directly. Finally. Sarah answered, her voice sharp with both relief and irritation. Mom said you've been ignoring us all morning. We've been trying to reach you for hours. What's going on, Sarah? What's going on? What's going on is that my daughters are about to be homeless. That's what's going on. The girls are struggling, both of them. Rent is due in 3 days. Tuition payments are overdue. Car insurance lapsed. They're drowning and I can't help them. I lost my position at the firm, remember? I'm barely keeping my own head above water. She paused and I could hear her take a breath, steadying herself for the ask. I know you have that college fund for your son. Mom said it's around $50,000 by now. That would solve everything. It would give the girls time to get back on their feet, find new jobs and catch up on everything. My stomach dropped. The casual way she said it, like she was asking to borrow a cup of sugar. You want me to give you my son's college fund? Not give. More like, reallocate. It's just sitting there doing nothing. You won't need it for 10 years, maybe more. We need it right now. Today. This week. Your family. This is what family does. We help each other when times are hard. Sarah, that money is for my son's education. We've been saving since he was born. And my daughters are drowning right now. What kind of aunt are you? What kind of sister? I'm sorry you're struggling, but the answer is no. The line went dead. Within an hour my phone exploded. Mom, Sarah, my nieces, even my aunt from Florida. The messages were all variations of the same theme. Selfish, heartless, forgetting where I came from. My niece sent a photo of an eviction notice. This is on you. The other niece wrote, guess college is more important than family. Hope you can live with yourself. Mom's voicemail said, I didn't raise you to be this cold. Your father would be ashamed. I showed my husband the messages that evening. He read through them, his jaw tightening. They're trying to guilt you into giving away our son's future. I know. You said no, right? Of course I said no. He nodded. Then block them. This is harassment. But I didn't block them. Some part of me thought they'd calm down, realize how inappropriate they were being and apologize. I was wrong. Day 2 brought 32 more voicemails. I made the mistake of listening to 5 of them over breakfast while my son watched cartoons. Mom said, it's been 24 hours and you still haven't called back. Do you know what that's doing to your sister? She's having panic attacks. The girls are terrified. And you're just sitting there with all that money doing nothing. My niece, I had to drop out of my classes today. Couldn't pay tuition. Thanks a lot, Aunt. Really appreciate the family support. My aunt from Florida, who I'd seen twice in my entire life. Your mother is beside herself. I can't believe you'd let your own flesh and blood suffer like this. What happened to you? A cousin, Sarah told us everything. 50,000 is nothing to you, but it's everything to them. Why are you being like this? My sister created a family group chat specifically to pressure me. Cousins I hadn't spoken to in years suddenly had strong opinions about my selfishness. People who'd never asked about my life, my son, or my struggles were now experts on my moral obligations. Sarah sent a breakdown of how she'd spend the money. $15,000 for back rent and deposits, $20,000 for tuition payments, $10,000 for car repairs and insurance, $5,000 for living expenses. She'd planned the entire budget using my son's college fund. Mom escalated. Your sister is on the verge of a breakdown. Her daughters are suffering. You have the power to fix this and you're choosing not to. What does that say about you? My aunt, family is supposed to support each other. When did you become so selfish? A cousin, wow. Just wow. You'd let your nieces become homeless. I tried one more time to reason with them. I sent a message to the group chat. I understand you're struggling. But this money was saved specifically for my son's education. It's not emergency money. It's not disposable income. It's his future. I can't give it away. Sarah's response came immediately. Can't or won't. You just don't want to help us. Mom, you always were the selfish one. Even as a child. My niece, thanks for nothing, Aunt. Really showing your true colors. The attacks became personal. They brought up every childhood slight, every perceived failure, every time I'd supposedly chosen myself over family. They rewrote history to paint me as the villain of every family story. By day 4 there were 47 voicemails. I listened to 3 before my husband found me crying in our bedroom. That's it, he said. This ends now. They're my family. Family doesn't do this. This is abuse. He was right. I knew he was right. But the guilt was overwhelming. What if they really were struggling? What if I could help and I was just being selfish? My husband sat beside me. Let me ask you something. When's the last time your mom asked how you were doing? When's the last time Sarah called just to talk? When did your nieces last visit their cousin? I couldn't remember. They only call when they need something. And when you can't give it, you're the villain. That's not family. That's exploitation. That night, I lay awake thinking about every interaction with my family over the past 5 years. My husband was right. Every call, every visit, every text had an agenda. Money for this, help with that. Could we babysit? Could we loan our car? Could we co-sign? And when we said no, we were selfish. Heartless. Forgetting our roots. I'd been conditioned to feel guilty for having boundaries. The next morning I made a decision. I texted the group chat one final message. Do not contact me or my family again. Any further communication will be considered harassment. Then I blocked every number. My husband and I had been discussing a move for months. His company had offered him a position in Dublin. We'd been hesitant because of family, because of roots, because leaving felt like abandonment. Now it felt like liberation. I called his office. Tell them yes. We'll take the Dublin position. We worked fast. I researched international schools while my husband coordinated with his Dublin office. Within 2 weeks we accomplished what normally takes months. We hired international movers and paid extra for expedited service. We enrolled our son in a highly rated international school that specialized in helping relocated families adjust. We began the visa process, filing paperwork and gathering documents. I contacted a property management company and listed our house as a corporate rental for executives on temporary assignment. The rent would cover the mortgage and then some. We set up mail forwarding to a private P.O. box at a commercial facility, not connected to any relative or friend. We transferred our savings to international accounts, splitting funds across 3 different banks in 2 countries for security. I closed our local accounts and opened new ones with different institutions. I removed my mother, sister, and nieces from any emergency contact lists at our son's old school, our doctors, everywhere. I called our insurance companies and updated everything to reflect our new status. Every step felt like shedding weight I didn't know I'd been carrying. I didn't tell my family. They were blocked and I intended to keep it that way. The night before our flight I changed our phone numbers. New country, new numbers, completely untraceable. We landed in Dublin on a Tuesday morning. By evening we were settling into corporate housing, jet-lagged but relieved. I didn't check my old voicemail. I didn't look at social media. I focused on helping my son adjust, on starting fresh, on building a life where boundaries were respected. 3 weeks later my husband's office forwarded a package. Inside was a letter from my mother, addressed to his work because it was the only way to reach us. The letter was 8 pages long. It started with anger. How dare we disappear? How dare we abandon family? Did we think we were too good for them now? Then came guilt. Sarah was in crisis. The girls had been evicted. They'd lost everything. Mom had to take them in. Her fixed income couldn't support everyone. They were struggling and it was my fault. Then came the demands. Wire money immediately. They needed $30,000 just to survive. I owed them this. Family doesn't abandon family. The final page contained threats. She'd find us. She'd tell everyone what kind of person I really was. She'd make sure my son knew what his mother did to his cousins. My husband read it over my shoulder. Your mom got your sister and nieces evicted? What? He pointed to a line on the third page. She says here that she told Sarah you'd definitely give them the money. Sarah used that promise to delay payments. When you didn't pay, everything collapsed. I reread the section. He was right. Mom had guaranteed I'd pay. She'd convinced Sarah to spend money she didn't have based on that guarantee. When I refused, their house of cards fell. And somehow this was my fault. They created their own crisis, my husband said gently. Your mom made promises with your money. Sarah spent based on those promises. You didn't cause this. They did. I threw the letter away. Over the next month, letters arrived at my husband's office weekly, each more desperate than the last, each blaming me for circumstances they'd created themselves. Mom's letters revealed more than she intended. Sarah had quit her job voluntarily, expecting to live off the money I'd supposedly give. My nieces had taken out loans for expensive apartments, certain their generous aunt would cover it. Mom had told extended family I was paying, accepting praise for raising such a giving daughter. They'd built an entire financial structure on money that wasn't theirs, from a person who'd never agreed to give it. When that structure collapsed, I became the villain for not funding their fantasy. The letters eventually stopped. I assumed they realized we weren't coming back, weren't sending money, weren't engaging. Life in Dublin was peaceful. My son thrived in his new school. My husband loved his position. I found work I enjoyed. We made friends who respected boundaries, who didn't view relationships as transactions. 6 months after we left, I received a friend request on a social media platform I rarely used. It was from a cousin who hadn't been part of the harassment. I accepted. She messaged immediately, I need to tell you what's happening back home. My stomach tightened, but I let her continue. Your mom has been telling everyone you stole from the family. She says you took money that was meant to help Sarah and disappeared. She's playing victim and people believe her. She's lying. I know. I saw the group chat messages before you left. I saw how they treated you. But she's convinced everyone else that you're the bad guy. She's even started a fundraiser, claiming she needs to raise money to replace what you took. I felt sick. I never took anything. I know. But she's rewriting history. I thought you should know. Part of me wanted to fight back, to tell the truth, to defend myself. But another part, the part that had found peace in Dublin, realized something important. Their opinion didn't matter anymore. Thanks for telling me, I messaged back. But I'm not engaging. They can say whatever they want. You're not going to correct the record? No. Anyone who knows me knows the truth. Anyone who believes her without asking my side isn't someone I need in my life. It was liberating. My family had spent years conditioning me to believe their approval mattered, that family loyalty meant sacrificing myself, that saying no made me selfish. Distance gave me clarity. They weren't family. They were people who happened to share my DNA, who'd learned they could manipulate me with guilt, who viewed me as a resource rather than a person. Real family doesn't harass you with 47 voicemails demanding money. Real family doesn't plan budgets with funds that aren't theirs. Real family doesn't threaten, guilt, and manipulate. A year after we moved, my son asked about my family back home. Don't we have grandparents? Aunts? Cousins? I chose my words carefully. We have people who are related to us. But family is more than DNA. Family is people who love and respect you. Sometimes those are relatives. Sometimes they're not. So we don't talk to them because they don't respect us? Exactly. He thought about this. That makes sense. I like our family better now anyway. So did I. Our life in Dublin wasn't perfect, but it was ours. We built it on honesty, boundaries, and mutual respect. We surrounded ourselves with people who valued us. And somewhere back home, my mother was probably still telling everyone I'd stolen from the family, still playing victim, still refusing to acknowledge her role in the crisis she'd created. I didn't care anymore. The college fund remained untouched, growing steadily for my son's future. The future we'd protected by refusing to give in to manipulation. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do for family is walk away. And sometimes the family you choose is better than the family you're born into. I learned both lessons the hard way. But I learned them.